Well, I think we said when it got to 3-2 that there was every
5.
chance we could go to a deciding frame between these two players. It happened last year in the quarter-final. Will history repeat itself? Oh, he's come up short. He's got to go round the angles here. He's got to screw this and avoid the green, and he's got to avoid the brown. Well, he's played it with a terrific amount of side, and he played it very well. He looked it around the angles, but
12.
he made that look very easy. Oh, that one jumped a little. Dear me, I'm not surprised he gave the floor a good old
19.
stamp there. I'm not sure if it was the...
Yes, as in the case of Mark Allen, in amongst the balls, poor positional shot. Just let Mark Selby down there.
Hawkeye just showing you the shot that Mark was intending, and somehow got himself tight on the red. Well, it looks a pretty straightforward safety shot, but he's not far off thinking about it for 2 minutes. I think if he just flicks off the red, probably would cannon into the yellow. That's why he's looking at an alternate. Surely he could avoid the yellow if he played off the red he's closest to. With a touch aside, it would swing it away from the yellow. I would have thought so. If he feels it's a natural cannon onto the yellow, just put a trace aside on and you'll slip past it. Yeah, it seemed straightforward, that one.
Mark Selby, 19.
Just wondering why he thought for 2 minutes about it. That little double kiss has left a possible pot on. That one will go into the right corner pocket, and he could avoid the cannon on the pink. There you see it. As I mentioned before, when you get to this stage of a quarter-final, it does get rather tense, especially for two young players like these. You can expect the odd mistake. Now there is a pot on, but can he avoid canning into the black and red? Got plenty of cue power. The red there closest to the pink will pass the one that's near the pocket, or he could cut the one in that's near the cushion there, but it's a thin one. Given every shot his full attention, because he's trying to keep himself in this year's Masters. One mistake and he could be out. And that's what they're playing for, that beautiful Waterford Crystal Trophy. That would look nice sitting on the mantelpiece, JV.
Yes, and at the moment it's looking a bit further away from Mark Selby than it did when he was 3-0 up.
As I say, the players are getting a little anxious, and that was an anxious one from Mark Allen. This is a big frame. It could put him into the semi-final.
One.
As you can see, not the most straightforward of tables, with these reds collected near this top cushion, the black tied up. Now, is it possible to get an angle on the blue off this red, to play a cannon maybe on that
6.
black and the red together? The way the reds are situated at the moment, it's hard to see him winning the frame at this visit.
7.
Well, he's not done a lot with the cue ball. He certainly hasn't got a good angle on this blue. Slight angle, but not a great angle.
Twelve. 13.
Once again, he could have done with just being a little bit further up the table. Still another slight angle, so you'll have to just force it in a little bit to get to the red near the black spot. And he didn't quite manage it.
18.
Had he have got the correct angle on the blue, he could have played that shot that you mentioned, John, cannoned into the black. This is a difficult cut that he's faced with here. Well played.
19.
He's urging the white on, but it's going to be in behind the green. And he's blocked off the escape, the left side of the table, to land on the left of the three reds. He'd have to go twice across the table to land on that, so he needs to avoid the pink.
Of course, this is where the misrule really plays a part, doesn't it, at the end of frames. I mean, you could give quite a few points away here. This is not straightforward to hit.
I think the pink slightly in the way of the two-cushion escape. That's the sort of line that he could take. He's going the other side. It's not a bad effort. You're never sure where he just wanted to hit a red, but to hit it on that side was a bit of a bonus. But having said that, it's handed the advantage to Mark. He can get a snooker behind the green this time. Well, hadn't got the angle to get behind the green, and it's not the best safety shot. Well, I was going to say not the best. Maybe the brown has helped the situation, because he can't get past the blue to hit that red thin enough to get back up to the safety zone, or can he?
Well, the problem is as well, Dennis, if he hits that second red, he can't hit the one in the middle of the table, the middle of the top cushion, because of the blue. But if he's got to be careful, he doesn't knock the second red over the corner pocket here. Well, all things considered, he made a pretty good job of that. That wasn't easy, but he still left this red on.
This is not bad. He can use the black as a stopper for the red. He's just got to be careful if he cannons the black, it doesn't hit another red towards the corner pocket. He's hit it a bit on the thickish side. Has he covered this one to the right corner? He has, and he's covered the one to the left corner. So all in all, he's had a bit of a result there, because it wasn't the best safety shot he's ever played. He misjudged that. He played that red onto the black. That was a bit careless from Mark Allen. That red should have careered into the black, and it would have kept it safe. Misjudgment. He was just knocking that red onto the black.
Pots the red, but not on a colour. But we know what's going to happen next.
Mark Selby, 1.
Could have got that cue ball a little bit tighter to the green than that. But he's got the snooker, and now it's the old problem. It's not easy to hit. There you see Hawkeye showing us that that's the part of the table he can't hit. Thanks, Hawkeye.
it's one of those situations where you might just have to sort of hit and hope, because there's no red close to a cushion to land on. He can't just play off and land on a red. He's got to hit the red and somehow get a bit of distance between them. So in this sort of situation, John, sometimes you just got to hit and hope for the best.
I think that's all you can do, and there's plenty of room around these reds, so even if you hit one, you're not certain to get it safe. Well, he's hit it. Needs a bit of luck. Needs this cue ball to run. Is it going to run behind the blue? Now, can he get through to the red, to the left corner? He can. This is Mark Selby's chance to send us in to a decider.
Another inch with the cue ball, and Mark Allen would have got away with that, because all he could do was just hit and hope there. Well, he's been rather fortunate, because he hit that red, and when he potted, he hit it too thick because he didn't intend to cannon into the other red. But having said that, he may be able to pot the pink, but he can't get close to the last red. He's having a quick look at the scoreboard, but he needs quite a few points yet.
Yeah, I, like you, Dennis, thought that when he flicked the red and then flicked the pink, he was okay. But the fact he's taking the blue, he was looking for something easier than this. But a terrific pot. But he's going to need another one. 20 points to lead. I don't think he'll be playing for the black, so he's going to need red colour and possibly the yellow.
I'm just wondering if he'll try and drop on the black, because he'll only need the black, but it is a tough one. If he gets good position, he should be able to get on the yellow. Well, he played to leave himself on the black, to just roll it across the table and leave Mark Allen needing a snooker. But at least he hasn't left a sitter up. Well, Vicky, things are getting very tense. It's worse when you're watching her. That's his girlfriend. He was trying to make absolutely sure there, Mark, wasn't he? Trying to drop on the black, and like you, John, he could have easily played for pink or blue, and then he would have needed the yellow. But it was a pretty comfortable shot, really, to drop on the black.
Yeah, I think it was a choice, but I think that if you can get through it and put a bit more pace in the cue ball without having to play little soft stuns, it makes the pot a bit easier. Just playing the safety. And if he gets the snooker, the way the balls are situated, we may have a new favourite for this frame now.
He's got to hit this from behind, and he'd have to swerve around the pink. Otherwise, he'd have to come off two cushions and hit it from behind. He's got a choice here. He needs to hit cushion first, though, and put a bit of distance between red and white. So it just depends how he feels. The swerve shot's on, and that's one way of getting in behind, or swerving around the pink, so it depends how he feels. It's the swerve.
I must have to admit, Dennis, I prefer your way. If he swerves this too much, he could hit the red on the way up. Well, he's caught it, but he's not got it safe. This is a chance of a pot. Okay, it looks automatically that the cue ball will be running into the black, but you shouldn't let that affect you. Just concentrate on the pot on the red. He should be on a colour.
Well, it's 22 minutes since Mark Allen has potted a red. He could have done with that one, and this time he stuck it up, and it looks as if we're heading into a deciding frame between these two players. Same scenario as last year. Quite incredible.
Yes, and remember, 20 points to lead. Red and the black would put him 28 points in front with 27 left on the table. This time, I have no problems with him playing for the black. I think that's the most obvious ball to play for.
One.
Well, I suppose because of what happened previously when he tried to drop on the black, he thought, I won't do it this time, and it hasn't worked out nicely for him. It could have been a lot easier than this.
Oh, absolutely. And there's pressure if he decides to play the pink, which will put him 27 points in front with 27 remaining. But this pink is missable. This is no gimme. But it's there, and he's on the yellow. We're into a decider.
7.
And every credit to Mark Selby here. After the
9.
disappointment of missing the red, that shot on the pink, very brave. Went all out for it, got on the pink.
And he dropped to his knees, didn't he, when he knocked the pink in and got on the yellow. He knew the importance of that shot.
Well, a lot of people were saying after their encounter last year that it was going to be a close one. Well, they were right. It didn't look like that when Mark Selby took a 3-0 lead.
21.
But he's now just about to finish off this frame. The pink didn't matter.
Mark Selby, 21 pound difference.
Mark Selby is going to go for a comfort break. I'm sure that Mark Allen will join him, and they'll come and return for a deciding frame shootout. It's 5-all.
Well, as JV said, both players leaving the arena. And we talked about the break-off shots of Mark Selby, and it's quite interesting. He breaks off the opposite side of the table to most players, and it's amazing. You see, he's near the brown, and it's amazing, John, the number of times he's got the white in more or less the same spot, or not very far from. So we'll just show you. This was frame 1, the break-off shot. That was near the cushion. And then frame 3, his break off is a little bit closer to the yellow. But watch the next break off shot. That's frame 3. Where do you see frame 5 where the cue ball finishes up? Just keep your eye on the cue ball. Look at that. More or less in the identical position. And frame 7, well, just a fraction out. And frame 9, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yes, and when you look at that, I would say that Mark Selby is one of these players that is probably playing the break-off shot a little bit harder, trying to use the yellow as a snookering ball. It's a risky thing to do, but we've seen a lot of players just trying to find that ball cushion, and they always seem to leave the red to the corner pocket. So maybe that's something he's decided to do, put a bit more pace in it. Anyway, we'll see what happens in this last frame, because it's Mark Selby to break off.
Still a great atmosphere here at the Wembley Arena. There'll be a handshake before the decider. He's already there waiting for it.
The final frame, Mark Selby to break.
So Mark Selby gets the deciding frame underway. Not a bad break off. It's been a thoroughly entertaining quarter-final this. The crowd have got involved. There's been a lot of fun between the players and the audience. And now we're going to have a lot of tension in the deciding frame. That's a poor shot, but miss-hit that completely. Under these circumstances, we always say it's a toss of a coin, but I suppose Mark Selby, having won 6-5 last year, you'd have to say was a slight favourite, but you know, it is a bit of a shootout when it's down to the deciding frame. But the tension creeping in now, and I'm just wondering if that bit more experience under these conditions and having won on a decider last year will play a part. Matches he's played here at the Masters, there's 6 of them, believe it or not, gone to a deciding frame, and he's won 5 of them. He's only lost 1 match, and that was in the final last year to Ronnie O'Sullivan. But will that sway it his way? Who knows?
Four.
Let me just get it absolutely right for you. He's had 5 shootouts. This is the 6th one, but he's won all 5. Now, will it be 6 out of 6?
Ten. $11.
I think those 2 reds near the left corner pocket are a certain plant, but there's enough gap that it can be made into one anyway. And maybe interesting if the pink doesn't go on its own spot here and it went on the black spot. That could help. There you see the plant, that can't be missed. But where does the pink go when it's respotted? Well, it goes on its spot. So
17.
Will he risk playing on the black here off this plant? Every reason to suspect he will. Ooh, but has that red run through too far? Just goes. But only just.
Yeah, he didn't quite play the plant as he intended. If you... Now just watch here. He hit that a little fuller than he intended, and he almost blocked the pocket.
Mark Selby, 18.
Yeah, it was the plant again that was the problem. He didn't play it as intended, and now a bit of fun and games with the black right over the pocket and a red close to it. Okay, if either player gets a chance to pot a red, the black will go from the left side of the table. Believe it or not, it's now 31 minutes since Mark Allen last potted a red. Is he going for the double? He did. And he obviously could get past the red to pot the black. So it was worth the risk there. Oh, Vicky's watched a few shootouts with Mark in her time, and this one's just as tense as the others. The last frame shootout. Can't beat it.
Well, he's just coming down to have a look. He can play safe down the left-hand side of the table as we look, but he's got to catch this red mighty thin. And he's also got to be careful he doesn't knock a red over the right corner, as he's not straightforward. Not bad, but no pressure on Mark Selby with his safety.
Yeah, he's a wee bit unlucky with the cannon on the brown there. Otherwise, this safety shot might not have been available to Mark. But we could be in for some fun and games if they keep knocking reds towards the black that's over the pocket. At the moment, it's far from a stalemate, but if they keep playing this type of safety shot, they could all finish over that side. That's a pretty good shot. Can he get past the pink to snick the reds? He'd like to be able to. Is there a gap?
Well, I'm looking down the line, Dennis, and I think there is. And he's lucky to have it, because if he didn't, he'd be in all kinds of trouble here, would Mark.
Well, he hit that far too thick. You can just hope that the pink comes to his rescue. He didn't quite intend to hit it as thick as that, and the pink has come to his rescue. He would have been a little bit anxious there for a few moments when he played the shot. But a lot of pressure and tension on both players now, and gradually those reds are getting knocked towards the black. It's still available if you were to get a chance to pot a red from where the cue ball is at the moment. You could pot the black, but where's the red going to come from?
This is a very dangerous red that's near the right corner, and if he tries to get back to the D, he's got to be very careful he doesn't leave a chance of this red. You want to kiss the blue or the pink. Well, he found a gap. He found a gap, and that is a superb shot now. So close to catching the pink. Well, that was a terrific safety, and Mark Allen needs one just as good.
Well, there is a way down the table off that red, but look where he'd be knocking the red onto the other red. He could quite easily push it over towards the right corner pocket, but there is an escape route off that one, but it's risky. I can't see any other way back down the table, only that one particular shot there. You can see it. As we swing round, we'll show you that red that he can just flick off the two that's near the cushion, the left one, but ooh, it's mighty risky. If it's a two cushion escape, he's got to get this right. Doesn't want to hit this red full ball. He's played it well, and now we're getting to the situation where we may have a bit of a stalemate, because all he can do is just clip off the red that's behind the black spot, send it over towards the other two. It's all about getting a good cue ball now and trying to get a snooker. Mark Selby will be reluctant to finish up where there's a possibility of a re-rack, because he's got an 18-point advantage. Okay, it's not a lot, but it's, at least it's a lead in a deciding frame. Might be able to get through the gap to play off the red that's near the cushion. Is there a gap right between the blue and pink? Just. Well, this audience have enjoyed every minute of this match. There's been a lot of banter, a lot of fun, and now we've got loads of tension. Nearly a little jam, not quite hard enough to get the snooker. course, if this went on for quite some time, the referee's entitled to maybe say to the players, it's getting to be a bit of a stalemate. And sometimes what they'll say is, well, I'll give you 3 shots, and if it doesn't resolve itself. But we're not quite at that stage yet.
No, and of course, there's always a danger that someone, if he just caught it wrong, could knock the black in. But at the moment, I can't see an end. Maybe we should have the bus timetables put out. See if that'll get a chance of a re-rack, because at the moment it doesn't look to be an end in sight. As I say, unless somebody was to knock the black in. And I couldn't envisage someone doing that.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's a shame, the deciding frame, that it's had to finish up this way. And Mark, when he just missed the black and left it right over the pocket, has caused the problem. And whoops, hang on. Where's this white going to finish? Hang on.
Oh. Well. Nearly a chance of a pot, and nearly left a chance of a pot, and maybe this pot's still on, is it?
He would love to take it on, but under the circumstances, it's just so difficult.
Right, that's
but
enough, thank you.
He is. Well, he's thinking about it, you know.
Well, it's possible. But it's not one of those shots where the only red you could leave is the one you're playing. I think that's the big problem. If he misses it, there's quite a few reds he could leave into this same pocket.
This was Mark's shot when he caught the pocket. And as I say, the white another ½ inch to the left, and this would have been an easy pot. Well, it's make your mind up time. It is a big shot to take on. No. And it will pot to the middle pocket, and there is a chance that he could find a gap for the black. He doesn't have to find a gap for the black, because red colour and then the red to the left of the black spot, it's available to the right corner. It's a bit of a chance for Mark Selby. That was a big risk there that Mark took, but he thought long and hard about it. Now, next shot is key, John, if he drops on a red.
Yeah, to be fair though, the shot that Mark Allen finished up taking, it turned out that he played it in such a way that the only red he could leave was the one he played, and I suppose in a way he's unlucky to leave that red dead straight for the left middle. But anyway, there won't be any re-rack now, and you'd have to say that Mark Selby's favourite.
Well, what a terrible shot he's played there. He decided to use cushion first, thought he would automatically finish on an easy red, but he can still cut the one into the corner. But when you're canning into another red, you're never guaranteed where the cue ball's going to finish.
Yeah, but I think he's got one down the side as well, Dennis, that he could play for the black, or he could maybe stun up for the pink or the blue, so I don't think it's as bad as we first thought.
I don't think he's looked at that red that you mentioned, John. That's the red that's in the little circle that you mentioned, but I don't think Mark's even looked at that. So all about the cannon. You'd think he'd finish on one of the high valued colours, but you never know. That turned out pretty good. Well judged.
9. 14.
He's just spotted something on the red that he's going to pot, so he's going to have it cleaned. So he's a firm favourite now, you would say, although they're not straightforward, and Mark Allen can only sit and hope that something can go wrong. Wrong side of the blue, but he did bring a red across the table that last shot, so he can just drop it in. And believe it or not, John, it's 1987, last time a player from Northern Ireland got to the semi-final of the Masters.
20.
And that was when Alex Higgins and myself finished up in 2 semi-finals, and then we contested the final. So it's 23 years since a player from Northern Ireland has been in the semi-final of the Masters, and Mark Allen looked like he was going to do that, but will he get a chance?
Well, I think a lot of it will depend on this red. He's taking it on. There's pressure on it. If he knocks it in, he goes a big favourite. But he missed it by a long way. Well, how lucky was that? How lucky was that? He's missed it by that much, but somehow he got a second kiss on the cue ball to knock the cue ball back to the baulk end. Lucky boy.
Well, what a time to get it as well. Have a look at this. He didn't get anywhere near the pot. It's not bad. Is he going to get a chance? Believe it or not, it's 48 minutes since young Mark Allen has had a chance to pot a ball, or since he's potted a ball. He's had a few chances, or half chances, but is he going to get one? He's looked at the angle of this red that's near the cushion. He may try and snick this in with a bit of side so that he doesn't cannon into the other reds and pink, but that's a thin one. But he played it with enough side to avoid cannoning into other balls there. It's turned out pretty good.
Well, he obviously didn't feel as though he could get the cue ball back to the baulk end, but... Well, is the plant too risky? 2 reds close to this corner. Can be made. There's quite a bit of a gap between the two. As you can see, it was not a guaranteed. And added to that, there's an easy safety shot to play, should he want to play it.
That's the possible shot that he could play off that red to get back up towards the yellow, not necessarily on that line, but he'll just have to be careful. He might use the black as a stopper for the red here. Pretty good. And the situation for Mark Allen is, if he makes one more mistake, he can be out of this year's Masters. Look at that, there's just 1 ball separating the players. Amazing.
I think he's playing the plant here, you know. He's going for it. Well, maybe he didn't, in all honesty, because he's found a path back to the baulk end, but... Well, it's not bad. There is a red in the middle of the table that will cut to the right middle, but it's fraught with danger. And I don't know whether Mark Selby's in the mood in a deciding frame to take a risk like that.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so. Because the natural angle, if he took that pot on, would be to cannon into the 2 reds there to the left of the black spot, and if he doesn't pot the red, he could throw this match away. So can't see him taking that on. He's looking at the angle now, if he was to attempt that. I mean, if he could go up past the 2 reds and back down the table, he'd have a go at the red in the middle pocket, but it looks unnatural for me to cannon into the 2 reds that are together. There's no easy safety available to him, so it's make your mind up time.
There's the average shot time. I remember it didn't seem long ago. It was 21 seconds for Mark Selby and 23 for Mark Allen. Oh dear, dear, dear. Where's the cue ball going?
1.
Well, what a fluke.
Mark Selby 1.
Put his hand up and apologised for the fluke, played the snooker and apologised for that. There's a lot of apologising going on. Why bother?
And at first glance, I can't see a path through to the red that's near the cushion to land on. The other red's in the way, the one to the left of the black. Oh, this is tough. That's a brilliant shot. Brilliant shot from Mark Allen. An absolute gem he's pulled out there.
Best shot of the match so far by a long way. What a shot that was to pick out. Superb. Looked like his chances of winning the PokerStars.com Masters hinged on that one shot, and he's somehow managed to get it safe and keep his hopes alive.
The previous frame was the longest frame of the match, almost 35 minutes. This frame coming up to 31 minutes. Now, has he got the snooker behind the yellow? No. The red looks to be straight. It's not easy by any means, but it's been a long, long time since he potted a ball. "56 minutes since Mark Allen last potted a ball, and that's what he's faced with. A dead straight red. He'd have to get a lot of screw on it to be able to leave an easy pink. He has the cue power. Look at the cue. He had to hit that so hard, but he's not out of the woods yet. Pink's tough, black's tough.
Yeah, and he also had to throw his cue to one side because he was frightened of making contact with the yellow. He's at full stretch here. He obviously doesn't like the potting angle on the pink. The pink looks the easier pot to me. Everything now hinges on this black. If he misses it, surely the match is over for him.
He's overdone it, has he? Yes. He was at full stretch, and if you touch the near jaw of the pocket, we know they won't go in, so that was a big, big shot.
1.
That freed the red there when he just cannoned into red and blue. And that's the red he's played on. It was a clever little shot when he cannoned the red and blue. This was the shot here, and that was the red that he played to get on. Been a very entertaining quarter-final, this. Could there possibly be another twist? $54 the difference. Red
16.
and pink would be enough.
$17.
Mark Allen lost the 3 opening frames, and then he come back strongly to level at 3-all. And Mark Selby, in his 6th deciding frame in the Masters over the last 3 years, looks like he's done it again. The shootout specialist.
Mark Selby, 22.
So barring snookers, it's the jester from Leicester who goes through to the semi-final by 6 frames to fine. Hang on a minute. Okay, 3 snookers needed, but he made a mess of that shot. He brought the blue off the cushion. He's left him a chance to get a couple of reds and blacks. Surely not. He couldn't win a deciding frame needing 3 snookers. JV?
Well, it can happen. Stranger things have happened. And of course, he'll pot 2 of the reds with blacks, and then he'll leave the 3rd one on and possibly get a free ball. And if he got a free ball, 1 snooker would be enough. Black spot not
8.
available, has to go up on the blue spot.
9.
So leave yourself in a position now where you can play a snooker off this last red. And if you can play a snooker and put the red close to another colour, then you've got a chance of having that free ball. And if not,
16.
just make certain you get the snooker. 45 points behind, 35 left on the table. There's the snooker, but it's not going to be a difficult one to hit. It's a 1 cushion escape. Well, going this way, he could catch the bump of the middle pocket. I'm surprised. I'd have preferred the other way, but you wouldn't expect him to miss it, but the bump of the middle pocket could be in the way.
I think you called it. Mark shook his head when he got the snooker because he pushed the red near the cushion. He needed to keep it away from the cushion, as you said, John, didn't he? Which he has done this time, but there may be enough room past the green just to... He'd like to come off 2 cushions to hit this. That's why he's swerving it, but if it's the 1 cushion, he's got to just miss the brown. He's got to be very careful, because if he tries to swerve it and come off a couple of cushions and he misses it, he could leave a free ball.
Yeah, but looking at that, I think he's making a meal of this. Dennis, I can't see any way he can miss this red. I think he was just trying to get us all a bit excited.
Well, he still managed to smile there. I don't know what he said to Mark, but he didn't get anywhere near in behind the blue where he intended. And that definitely is the end. Mark Allen comes forward. It's been a very, very entertaining quarter-final. They get a standing ovation. And isn't Mark Selby happy? But these 2 boys have really entertained this audience this evening. But it's Mark Selby who wins 6 out of 6 in a last frame decider, and he goes through to the semi-finals 6-5.